Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2020 Valdosta High School Hall of Fame banquet. To get us started this evening, I will bring out Justin Crenshaw for our prayer and our national anthem.
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we come on this night. We thank you so much for this great city, this great program, this great tradition that we celebrate. And all the inductees, God, thank you so much for them and the legacy that they've left. And Father, we just want to honor them tonight. But most of all, we want to honor you, Father. We thank you so much for the breath in our lungs. We thank you most of all for your Son, Jesus Christ, who came and lived and died and was resurrected on our behalf so that we could know you, Father, so we could love you, so we could live with you forever. Thank you so much for the hope we have in Christ. God, I pray that you would watch over us this evening, God, in our lives, our families, and be over the proceedings of this night. We want to give you honor for all that you are. We want to honor these inductees. We ask that you would just be with us this night. And it's in your name we pray. Amen. Amen. Stand with me as we sing our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
At this time, we would like to recognize our Hall of Fame Selection Committee. As I call the names, would you please stand? Chairman, Jerry Don Baker. Bob Bolton. Irvin Davis. Dwayne Hart. Steve Jennings. Reginald Mitchell. Alvin Payton. Ronnie Pitcock. Troy Thomas. And Donald Butch Williams. Tonight, our program is dedicated to a wonderful human being by the name of Jack Rudolph. This is in his memory.
Tonight's Hall of Fame program is dedicated to legendary coach Jack Rudolph. Coach Rudolph spent 31 years as a coach and teacher at Valdosta High School. During Coach Rudolph's time at Valdosta, the Wildcats won 11 state championships and 5 national championships. His defense recorded 111 shutouts and held opponents to a scoring average of 8.3 points per game. More important than the wins was the influence he had on the thousands of young people throughout his life.
Jack's son, Coleman, who is also in our Hall of Fame, was supposed to have been here tonight to accept this and acknowledge this, but he was stuck in Atlanta with the snow. So instead of Coleman, we're going to have Bob Bolton come up.
On behalf of the Rudolph family, Marsha, Coleman, and Russ, it is my honor and distinct pleasure to accept this award in dedication to Jack. I thank everybody in this room. I know that all of the inductees have been around Jack at least at some point in time in their career while at Valdosta High School. And I know that how he touched my life. His first year coaching was my senior year, and then he stayed here with us for 31 years. But it is my honor to accept this on behalf of the Rudolph family. Thank you very much.
And now to our 2020 Hall of Fame inductees. First on our list, from 1982 to 1985, Randy Bell.
Randy Bell was a three-sport student athlete during his time at Valdosta High. He was a three-year varsity athlete on the football and track team. He also played basketball and was a member of the Naval Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps during his time at VHS. The senior class of the 1986 football team earned 2 state and 1 national championships while Bell was a member. In 1985, the Cats also won a regional track and field championship in which Bell was the meet MVP, winning 4 individual events, earning a slot to the state track meet. 3 years in a row, he earned an individual slot to the Georgia State track meet under Coach Waters. During those meets, Bell won the 4A triple jump event 2 of the 3 years and competed in the 300-meter hurdles and long jump. During the 1986 state meet, Bell broke the VHS triple jump record with a 47.7 3/4 jump. After graduating from Valdosta, Bell attended the University of Georgia and was a member of the track team. Coach Butch.
So I'm not as young as I used to be, so I'm going to pull up my glasses for just a minute, so bear with me. It's kind of humbling to be here today, receiving an award for a high school that gave me so much as I was growing up. But I want to thank all of my coaches, Coach Bowden, Coach Rudolph, special coach, Nick Hyder, Coach O'Brien, and all the teammates that we had. I've seen a couple of the guys that I played with when I was here, and it's just amazing. It's like yesterday. We just catch right up and move forward. So thanks to my parents, my mother, my brothers here, my relatives, and my wife, who has been my rock for almost the last 30 years. My boys couldn't be here tonight. They're grown men and they're living their own lives. But I wouldn't be here today without them. So when I describe growing up in Valdosta to my family, they often seem wide-eyed and wondering it like I'm making it up. When I talk about things like running through the creek and playing at the Boys and Girls Club and chasing trains and doing other stuff. And the long nights and the long hot summers playing with Valdosta High School football, which pretty much started when I was at the Boys and Girls Club. And so growing up in Valdosta, the town shut down on Friday nights, watching and thinking about my uncles playing ball I always knew I wanted to be a Wildcat. It's just something you expected of a young man growing up in Valdosta. So now, today, I'm a Colonel of the United States Army for nearly 3 decades, and I've probably deployed all over the world. Thank you. I just tell you, for veterans, that's special, but we say thank you back because it's the support and love. It's that United States support and love that means the most. Not just thank you for your service, but thank you for thanking a serviceman for their service. So I've commanded battalions of more than 900 soldiers, men and women, and I've been tasked to lead, mentor, and shape them as we move through. But there's a saying I want you guys to help me with, and I'm going to give it to you this first time. But before that, I was a Wildcat. I've deployed to countries where everybody there wanted to kill us. I've deployed to countries where we went there to help people. But before that, I was a Wildcat. Earlier on, right after leaving Valdosta, I went to the University of Georgia. Very, very strange and odd story. The only reason I ran track is because a football coach told me that it would be helpful. He asked me, Coach Du Bois says, hey, do you know what a triple jump is? And I went, no, but if you show me how to do it, I'll try it. Coach Waters made me run hurdles. Never thought I'd run over hurdles. While at Georgia, I was a freshman All-American. I set the school record in the 400-meter hurdles, and it lasted about 10 or 12 years. But all these things tie back to hard work and the efforts and the time and energy that Valdosta High put into me. I'm standing up here now. I was in FBLA as a senior, Future Business Leaders of America. Impromptu speaking, shaking, sweating, but the confidence to get up there and do it and the support came from here at Valdosta. So the early morning workouts, the days in class ending with practices, that wasn't anything new when I transitioned to the University of Georgia. And I knew I could do it because I'd been doing it most of my young life up to that point. But it all comes down to, before I was that, I was a Wildcat. And so after I mentioned earlier, having served in the military, being stationed all over all over the world, I'm an Afghanistan veteran, I'm a Saudi Arabian veteran, I'm an Iraq veteran, Kosovo, Bosnia. And my wife laughs all the time that I spent most of my time deployed when the kids were growing up, and I probably got about 6 years gone. But before that, I was a Wildcat. Kind of interesting what it means to be a Valdosta Wildcat. I'll try to put it in perspective with this one simple story. Our first tour together, we were in Germany. We went up to Nuremberg, Germany to do some shopping because that was the big shopping mall for that portion. And then a guy, a young man, won't call his name, walked up to me and said, are you Randy Bell? Didn't you go to Valdosta High and play for them? And I went, yes, I am. Well, my wife and my son went, Dad must have paid him because there's no way some stranger would come up to him and say that. But that's been my experience. And so if you've been a part of this community, part of the program, had any measure of success, people remember you. And because they remember you, no matter where you go, before that, I was a Wildcat. So I'll leave you today in kind of just a closing thought. Moments like this may seem trivial and small, but they are huge. To be remembered for your efforts, to know that a community thinks about you. I mean, I'll go back to work next week and I'll put this plaque in my office on my wall. And then when people ask me about it, I'll probably say, before that, I was a Wildcat. So as a husband, father, service member, I just say to you, and if you'll say it with me, before that, I was a Wildcat. Thank you.
Our next Hall of Fame inductee, a legend here at Valdosta High School. We'll ask him to come up and stand on the corner while we play his video. Butch Brooks, 1972 to 1981.
Coach Brooks began his coaching career at Valdosta while attending college. It was then that he became good friends with Coach Wright Bazemore and began volunteering as coach, assisting Jack Rudolph in football and Joe Mercer in baseball. After getting his degree, Coach Brooks joined the football staff full-time under head coach Charlie Green and taught U.S. history. In 1974, after Coach Nick Hyder was hired, Coach Brooks became the offensive line coach. In 1976, Coach Brooks became the offensive coordinator. During that time, the Wildcats played in 6 region championships, 3 quarterfinals, 2 state championships, winning the state championship in 1978. Coach Brooks was also the head baseball coach at Valdosta for 7 years. His team won 127 games, 4 region championships, and the 1978 state championship. In February of 1981, Coach Brooks left Valdosta to become the head coach and athletic director at Washington Wilkes High School. After retiring in 1998, Coach Brooks went to work at Georgia Tech for 10 years as the director of football operations before fully retiring in 2008.
This is indeed a fantastic honor, and as Randy said, it's very humbling, and I salute you, Randy Bell. I myself am a 100% disabled veteran from Vietnam. When I first started work here at Valdosta, my first wife, who passed away, kind of got me in, that she knew Coach Bazemore, and I was still in the military, got sent back to Moody Field. And by the grace of God and very depth of a lot of help from my fellow friends, my students, my family that's here tonight, which I have an extended family now. And I'm very proud of them, very proud of my second wife, and they have really helped me and pushed me through a lot of things as far as being a head coach and everything else. But I do want to thank you, Randy, for your service. When I came to Valdosta High School, there were only 3 people that knew that I was a Vietnam vet. At the time, we weren't very welcomed at home. And that was Mr. Goolsby, the superintendent, Ralph Brandon, the assistant superintendent, and Coach Wright Bazemore. And they kept it a secret for me. So I lived with it for a while. But now I can talk about it over the years. But it was an honor for me to serve. It was an honor for me to be here, a great honor to coach under Coach Wright Bazemore, Charlie Green, and of course Nick Hyder. And I thank them for all the knowledge that they gave me and the way they taught me how to coach and helped me become successful. Most of all, I want to thank my athletes, my managers, my trainers, my students that I taught in school. They contributed a great deal to how it formed me as a coach. My fellow coaches did more for me than they'll ever know. One in particular, but I'm not going to call out any names. Somebody will get their feelings hurt maybe. But he knows who he is. He's here tonight, and I've got another one here tonight that helped me a great deal too. But still, without great assistant coaches and without them being on the same page that you're on, you won't ever be successful. And fortunately, I had great kids playing for me. I had great support groups, had great administration, had a great family, and I continued to have a family all the way that helped me through everything I've been through. And I want to thank them tremendously. And I want to thank the people of Valdosta, and thank all you folks in the audience out there. And Randy, thank you for your service and continued service. And there's not a whole lot more I could say. I could start crying probably if I could stay up here any longer. But I get real emotional. But thank you very much, Wildcats. and I'll always be a Wildcat, and I'll always pull for the Wildcats. Thank you very much.
Our next 2020 Hall of Fame inductee at Valdosta High from 2002 to 2005, Dori Carter.
Dori Carter played golf for the Valdosta Wildcats girls team from 2002 to 2005. During that time, she won the Dynamite Goodlow Invitational and the Mary Brantley Matson Lady Bears Golf Invitational. Miss Carter was the Region 1 5A tournament champion all 4 years at Valdosta. She also finished third in the Georgia State Golf Tournament her junior year and finished second her senior year. After high school, Miss Carter accepted a scholarship to play golf at Ole Miss. At Ole Miss, she became the first All-American in Ole Miss golf history and the first Ole Miss golfer to earn all SEC honors more than once. In 2011, Miss Carter joined the LPGA, where she participated in over 140 tournaments. Today, Miss Carter is an assistant coach for the University of Louisville Women's Golf Program.
Thank you. I'm the only one who probably took notes, but I'd like to start by saying thank you to the Valdosta High School Hall of Fame Committee for selecting me and including me in this elite group. I'd also like to congratulate the other inductees and say that it is an honor to share this evening with you. I wouldn't be here without the love and support from my family. My parents and grandparents are here, my sister and brother-in-law, my aunt, and my 3-year-old nephew who calls me Aunt Dee. They have sacrificed so much on my behalf, and I'm forever grateful. Perhaps like most of you, I would give anything to go back in time to my 4 years here at Valdosta High School. I truly enjoyed roaming these hallways, sometimes rushing to get to class and interacting with my teachers. I enjoyed all of these things, but most of all, I loved to play sports, especially golf. Each year that I was a member, the Valdosta High School girls golf team consisted of 3 players. Every spring, we would compete against other high school teams by playing 9-hole matches after school. Even though we had a different group of players every year, our coach, Keith Middleton, remained the same. He was and is a great coach, a great mentor, and one heck of a bus driver. My teammates and Coach Middleton are a big reason why I'm here tonight. Then there's Coach Baker. First of all, haven't most of these Hall of Fame induction speeches included Coach Baker in some way? I feel as though he has touched so many people, and I'm proud to be one of them. I was obviously not a member of the Valdosta High boys golf team, but there were times where I felt like I was. I wish I could relive all those team practices at Valdosta Country Club and those 4 state championships we played at Jekyll Island. I wish I could play again with some other of the guys like Dallas and Matt and Nate and Blake and Ben and even Colby. But most importantly tonight, I wish I could repeat some of Coach Baker's quotes, especially the ones he borrowed from the comedian Roy D. Mercer. His prank phone calls are priceless, and Coach Baker used them all the time. So. But I'll never be able to do that. I will never be able to do them justice. Coach Baker, you recently told me that those years were some of the best ever, and I completely agree. My years at Valdosta High turned out to be just the beginning of my golf journey. I was fortunate enough to earn a scholarship to play at Ole Miss, and then after graduation, I turned pro. I played on the LPGA Tour for 10 years, traveling all over the world. Now, I'm a college coach at the University of Louisville in Kentucky, and my golf journey has come full circle. Hopefully, I can be as big of an influence to my team as my coaches were to me. And before all of that, I was a Wildcat. That was good. I want to close with saying that the Valdosta High School Hall of Fame is unlike any other. The athletes in this elite club have done so many great things in sports, and I'm honored to be a part of it. Even though I'm the first female golfer to be inducted, I know that I will not be the last. Thank you very much.
Our next 2020 Hall of Fame inductee from 1980 to 1983, Ricky Daniels.
Ricky Daniels attended Valdosta High School from 1979 to 1983. On the football field, Daniels stood out on the defensive line. In 1981, he led the team in tackles, was selected to the All-State and All-Region teams in 1981 and 1982, and was selected team captain in 1982. Daniels was selected to the Georgia-Florida Super Team his senior season in 1982 and played in the GHSA All-Star team. During Daniels' time at Valdosta, the Cats won the 1981 and 82 Region Championship and the 1982 State Championship. Daniels was voted Best Defensive Lineman his junior and senior season and was a member of the Super Cat Club. After his senior season at Valdosta, Daniels accepted a scholarship to play football at the University of South Carolina.
Good evening. My name is Ricky Daniels, and first of all, I'd like to thank my Heavenly Father for allowing me to be a part of this great group of men and women who are being inducted into the Hall of Fame tonight. And I'd like to also thank Reggie Mitchell and the Hall of Fame Committee for giving me this opportunity to be a part of this great class. It's been 37 years since I've been having fun in high school and participating in football and track. If you ask me what do I remember the most, without a doubt I would tell you my coaches and my teammates. And two of my teammates are being inducted tonight, Jimmy Lewis and Robert Mitchell. And of course there were several other teammates that, like William Collier, Blake Ballou, Leon Johnson, and my college roommate Christopher Makers. They helped me along the way and helped me develop my skills on the field, in the weight room, and doing conditioning drills to prepare for the upcoming opponents. Participating in football has given me the skills I have used for the past 37 years of my adult life. And my coaches have been very instrumental for me, and they did not even know it, especially Coach Hyder and Coach Waters. They taught me how to endure pain and to never give up and to never quit. That advice helped me get through the early morning workouts, the hot summer days of two-a-day practice, and the conditioning drill after each practice. Coach Hyder taught me how to prioritize my life and taught me also how to, what was important to be successful in life. There wasn't a week that went by that Coach Hyder did not mention that to us to always put God first, family second, country third, academics fourth, friends fifth, and football last. Coach Howard helped me develop the drive and the determination to never give up on the play and to always play until the whistle blows. Because you never know when the breaks are going to come your way. And when you did, you need to be ready for it. That advice, that helped through life also. Even though Coach Howard had passed on, I still give him a great debt of gratitude for instilling that can-do, will-do attitude into me. And I'm also grateful for my position coach, Coach Freddie Waters. You know, when I was playing defensive tackle in the 9th grade, all I heard from my teammates and friends that when you go to varsity, you better change your position. Because Coach Waters coaches the defensive line. He's tough, he's mean, and he did not play. But I must have grown short end and stick, because I was the only one on that 9th grade team to play on that 9th grade squad to play for Coach Waters. So, and I gotta tell you, he was tough. But I needed that toughness to grow as a player and as a person. And if I had to do it all over again, I would not change one thing. Coach Waters taught me, Coach Waters helped develop my leadership strength, and he always made sure we did what was right. But the best part about Coach Waters, he cared about his players. Now I recall a recruiting trip that Coach Waters took myself, Kennedy Cooper, and Chris Mason on to Florida State. And he stayed with us throughout the entire day. And Florida State had a night game, and it poured down the rain the entire time. And he sat with us through that rain, that cold, wet, and miserable night, as we watched Florida State get killed by Florida Gators. And he did not say one negative thing about that. He could have been at home with his family, doing whatever they normally did on Saturday, but he chose to take us on that visit. And I want to say thank you to Coach Waters for all he had done for me, giving me the opportunity to go to college while coaching me in football. And as you can see, my coaches and my teammates have helped me throughout my journey. They, excuse me, and I apologize. They helped me throughout my journey, and my teammates and coaches have given me the work ethic, teamwork, and the philosophy of never giving up and never quitting. And I can't say enough about that also, how they made me the person that I am today. By paving the way for me to go to college and to have a successful career in retail management. And also being a loving husband to my beautiful wife, Gail, of 32 years, and a devoted father to our 5 children. And I can't say enough about that also, and also how they made me the person that I am. Thank you.
Our next 2020 Hall of Fame inductee from 1977 to 1980, Vera Dotson.
Vera Dotson was a member of the inaugural girls track and field team for Valdosta High School in 1978. As a track member, Ms. Dotson was a regional and state qualifier in the high jump, shot put, 400-meter run, and both girls 4x100 and 4x400 relay teams. In 1979 and 1980, her 4x100 relay team finished first in the state finals, and the 4x400 relay teams finished second and third respectively. Ms. Dotson was also a member of the Lady Wildcats basketball team where she excelled on the court, and was also a member of the football cheerleaders where she served as captain for 3 years. Ms. Dotson attended Southwestern Christian College on a full-ride basketball scholarship and was selected amongst the who's who of American junior college students.
Good evening, everyone. I'm totally nervous. I took notes too. So, first of all, I want to thank the Hall of Fame committee for selecting me as one of your 2020 inductees into the Wildcat Hall of Fame. It is truly a great honor, and I do feel honored to be inducted with all of the other athletes that have come before me and those that are going to be coming after me. I graduated from Valdosta High School in June 1980. So receiving this award almost 40 years later, I truly feel like it's a great honor. I would like to thank my lifelong friends, Lisa and Troy Thomas, for thinking of me as one of the inductees into the committee. They reached out to me and they asked me to submit my information, and I was truly honored. I didn't really know anything about the Wildcat Hall of Fame, so I thank you, guys. I would also like to thank my children, Christopher and Christina. They're here with me tonight. My siblings, I think seven of my 8 siblings are here tonight with me. My nieces, my nephews. I saw in the back my coworkers that drove down from Jacksonville to be with me tonight. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Coach Baker, what can I say? Thank you so much. He was my track coach. The girls' track team started in my sophomore year, and he was the coach, and he helped develop me so much. We had an amazing track team with Lisa Jones, Rosita Jackson, all of those guys. We just had so much fun going on trips. Coach Baker being the bus driver, so that was a lot of fun as well. Going around those curves, I remember coming from Thomasville, just going around those curves and thinking, thank goodness, he's driving. I want to recognize 2 women that are not here tonight. But during my years in high school, these 2 women were very, very supportive of me. One being Miss Sarah Jones, and the other one is my mom. These 2 ladies, they passed away almost 4 years ago, 5 days apart. Lisa and I, on that Friday, we were both in the funeral home together. And so I want to honor them tonight. Miss Jones, she took me in like a daughter. Lisa and I, we were cheerleaders together and we ran track together. So whenever we had practices or we had games, Miss Jones was like, Vera, you need a ride? Come on, let's go. And she would always let me ride with her and Lisa. She brought me into her home. She would feed me. She was just a very special lady to me during my high school years. My mom. My mom was a single mother with 9 kids. She had 4 girls and 5 boys. And during my high school years, my mom worked 2 or 3 jobs just to make sure we had what we need. And I know if she was here, she would be yelling the loudest. She was so supportive of us. And my mother always encouraged us to participate in extracurricular activities because she thought that if we were involved in doing something in school, then we wouldn't be out doing something we weren't supposed to be doing. And as a result of my mother's hard work, all 9 of her kids graduated from Valdosta High School. But not only Not only did we graduate from high school, but 6 of her children were members of the Valdosta High School marching band. 2 of her daughters were varsity cheerleaders. 4 of her girls were members of the high school choir. 3 of her daughters ran track. And all of us participated in one form or another, some school function or activity or club. And after my mother raised us, she started supporting her grandkids, taking them to football practice, basketball practice, and then some even played in the band. My mother had no favorites. She supported us all. So tonight, I would like to just accept this honor on behalf of my mother, whose also name is Vera Dotson. We love you, Mom. We miss you. Thank you.
Our next 2020 Hall of Fame inductee from 1981 to 1985, Jimmy Lewis.
Jimmy Lewis attended Valdosta High School from 1981 to 1985 and was a 3-year letterman. During his freshman year of football, he started at left tackle. After that season, Mr. Lewis started as the defensive strong side left tackle and played there throughout his career at Valdosta. Mr. Lewis was a member of the 1982 state championship football team, a member of the 1984 state and national championship football team, and also placed second in the state for wrestling his junior and senior seasons. Mr. Lewis was also a member of the track team and went to state his junior and senior season for shot put and discus throwing. After Valdosta High School, Mr. Lewis attended Northeast Oklahoma Junior College on a football scholarship and then transferred to play at Western Illinois College.
Nominees, y'all killing me tonight. No. You have some good speeches. I'm not a good speaker. I'm the type of guy that sit in the back, the silencer, get the job done. But I'm gonna say something in there. I want to say welcome. God is good. I ain't hear you. God is good. All right. I just want to thank the man above for my safe journey here. To be here with to see this great award in the moment with my family and friends. I want to thank the committee for having me on this year's ballot among the other nominees. Good job. To all the nominees, I want to say it's been a pleasure receiving this honor with all you guys. One thing I remember, this is our anniversary. Let's continue. And I just want to thank everybody for being here, coming to receive this award. And on my biggest fan that I have, who pushed me to get where I'm at, I want to dedicate this to my dad, because he's my #1 fan. The one from him, get me up early, go to the morning workouts, waking me up, coming in late, saying, "You know better. You know better. We got to go." Even though he running late going to work, he still got me there, and I want to thank him for that. And the committee, I want to thank you for having him. I have one question for the committee. This is Hall of Fame. Are we treating this like the NFL? We get a check every month? $8. Well, I just want to thank you for this honor. Thank you so much.
Our next 2020 Hall of Fame inductee from 1980 to 1983, Robert Rob Mitchell.
Rob Mitchell attended Valdosta High School from 1980 to 1983. While there, Mitchell excelled on the football field and track team. Mitchell was the leading receiver in 1981 as a junior in catches and receiving yards. And as a senior in 1982, Mitchell led in catches, receiving yards, and touchdowns. He was a member of the 1981 All-Region team, and in 1982, he was a member of the state championship team, was named All-Region and All-State Honorable Mention, and Most Outstanding Wide Receiver. WCTV selected Mitchell as the Area Player of the Week twice as well. On the track, Mitchell was a member of the 1982 Region Champion 4x100 relay team and a state qualifier for the 4x100 relay team. After high school, Mitchell signed to play college football at Valdosta State and started as a freshman. Mitchell then joined the Air Force.
Good evening. First of all, I'd like to thank the committee for selecting me for this award. I'm very humbled to receive it. Sometimes even questioning my worthy, but I'm not going to worry about it tonight because there's a lot of players that come through here that, you know, at some point, sometime when it's their time, it'll happen. First of all, I'd like to thank my Heavenly God above. Through all things are possible. In my household, we serve the Lord. Amen. Acknowledge my beautiful wife, June, of 25 years, my lovely daughter, Kristen, and my grandson, Carter. And we had a journey getting here from Texas, and through God's grace, we are here. Thank my family, all my siblings. I love you guys dearly. My cousins, my classmates, my nieces, my nephews, everyone here who are supporting me here tonight. I didn't bring anything up to read from. I contemplated on the flight here, what was I going to talk about, and my sister said it best, speak from your heart. My wife tells me I'm pretty good at impromptu speaking, so we'll give it a try and see what happens. What does Valdosta High School football, Wildcat, mean to me? Someone mentioned earlier, Randy, I think, growing up in the boys club, boys club and rec football, there was only one thing we knew. I didn't think about going to the NFL or going to a Division I college. All I wanted to do was be a Wildcat. Run out of that tunnel, hitting my helmet against that 10, and listen to the roar of the crowd on Friday night, because Friday night belonged to the Wildcats. There's a lot of people that got me to the point of becoming a performer for the Wildcats. It takes you sometimes a little bit longer to realize things as far as influences that people make in your life. I'm going to go with two, actually three, but two. I'm going to start with the first, Coach Bolden. Coach Bolden. You taught me so much, and I didn't even realize it, because as a little 16, 15, 16, 17-year-old, if you got any out there now, you know, we thought we knew it all. And who am I to question a man who has won championships, coached players who are All-Americans? I know I gave you some resistance, but you never gave up on me. And I'll never forget the day Coach Waters pulled me to the side And like Jimmy said about Coach Waters, he was candid and he'll tell you like it is. Mitchell, come here. And if anyone knows Coach Waters' tactic, he always had a towel over his shoulder with a toothpick in his mouth, and he swung it at me. Come here. What you doing? That man is trying to make you somebody. And I get it, Coach Bolton, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Coach Brooks, you don't know this, and this is important, so there's a lesson to be learned here. Be mindful of what you do to the younger generation when you're in a leadership position to make an impression on them. Coach Brooks, what I mean by that, I was a sophomore, and we had an incident that I won't go into detail where a lot of players didn't get to eat that night because Coach Hunter had a rule, and he stuck by the rule. If you didn't have a tie on after that game to wear, you weren't going to eat. And he stood to it. So every player that did not have on a tie, whether you were a starter or not, you didn't eat. And I'll never forget Coach Brooks and some of the other coaches, Coach Baker, Coach Bolton. They refused this by not defying Coach Hyder, but what they said is they went into their own pockets and they were going to pay for us to go across the street to a McDonald's to eat. And that stuck with me because that showed me what integrity is about. My brother Keith, he set the bar pretty high for me to be a Wildcat, to be a wide receiver as a Wildcat. I never forget the day we were in his sophomore year working with my father in Twin Lakes doing lawn work, and the Wildcats were at camp. And my brother did not get invited to go to camp that year. And I never forget him saying it'll never happen again. And what did he do? His junior and senior year, he electrified the crowd on Friday nights at Valdosta High School Wild football. So he gave me and Reginald the platform to go out there with the expectation that everyone thought if you're Keith Mitchell's brother, you better be something and you better be worthy of wearing number 34. Lastly, and I'll end it here, Robert and Gladys Mitchell. Vera Dotson was talking about her mom, and I can testify that because her brother Jeff and I are really close friends growing up together and still are. And I know what Miss Dotson was all about. My mother was the driver of the carpool pool that took everybody to morning workouts before they started doing the bus drives. She fed a lot of Wildcats, and my father gave a lot of advice and knowledge to a lot of young men to this day. We still use that inspiration and those words to become fathers, husbands, and leaders in our community. What Valdosta High School Wild mean to me? It means the world. Like Randy, I'm also a military man. I served in Afghanistan. I served in Riyadh doing Desert Shield. And even over there in a tent, getting ready to eat lunch, I heard a guy talking about his high school, and as I walked upon him, he was talking about they were number 1 in the nation that year and how good they were and so forth. And he said this, and I'll never forget, but there was one school, I'm glad we did not have to play them. And he said, Valdosta. And it caught my ear because and when I walked over and I knew the guy, so we started talking some more, and that's when he told me what high school he was from, and it was Moeller High School. That was the school that we finished number 2 in the nation to that year, our senior year. Again, to all the inductees, congratulations. To the committee, thank you. Go Wildcats.
Our next 2020 Hall of Fame inductee from 1985 to 1988, James Roberts.
James Roberts attended Valdosta High School from 1985 to 1988 and played football for the Wildcats. During Mr. Roberts' freshman year, he made the varsity team. In 1986, Roberts was the youngest player on the offense, where he played running back. That year, he helped lead the Wildcats to the state and national championship. Mr. Roberts was selected team captain his senior year and considered it a huge honor. Mr. Roberts was also a member of the track team all 4 years while at Valdosta. After Valdosta, Roberts went on to play football for the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. His freshman season, Roberts was named Southern Conference Freshman of the Year and was named to the All-Conference team.
Good evening. How's everybody doing? Thank you, Jesus. Been a long time waiting, but I finally got that call. And I thank God, who's the head of my life. Thank God for my family that's here, who's followed me all the way through my career at Valdosta, and through Chattanooga, and through elementary school, where my mom didn't want me to play. So I thank God for the committee at Valdosta High School for voting me in. Coach Baker, one of the best coaches ever. Coach Bowden, one of the best coaches ever. Reginald, thank you. Dwayne, thank you. Also my fraternity brothers. It's been hard. It's been a long road. And not too long ago, I found out that I will be having surgery on my knees. It's come from playing ball for so long. And they hurt me right now after working 10 hours a day at work. But I thank God again, once again, for, my family, for believing in me. They was there for me my senior year in college after being picked to be drafted early in the first middle round. I tore my knee that last year. And it was a big setback, but by coming home, seeing my family, seeing the Wildcats, that was, also a family for me. I can recall, being a freshman in '85, going to Twin Lakes, where we had camp, being one of the scariest guys ever. And they wonder how I got so fast. Running from guys 275 pounds that could run. Sebron Williams was probably one of the best defensive ends I went up against. And I was a freshman. Coach told me to go out there and block him, not knowing to play. And I hit him, he hit me so hard, he knocked snot out of my nose. And I told Coach I didn't think I wanted to play with him. But it was one of the best experiences ever. It taught me how to be tough. Like I say, Coach Bowden, one of the best coaches ever. I could be in the school, walking through the lunchroom, and he'll say, "Hey, Baby Bear." I earned that name by playing young and being big. But he would say, "Baby Bear, 315, 10 times. So it pushed me in the weight room. These guys challenged me every day in the weight room. They would follow me around in the weight room, adding 45-pound plates on every set I was getting on the weight bench. But it got me strong. I was benching 405 coming out as a senior. Today I still bench 385. And that's coming from, something being instilled in me from them guys, that hard work pays off. And Coach Baker, probably one of the best coaches ever. He'll tell you a story now that happened years ago, where I ran through a guy. I think he tells it better than I do. But he loved that play because they talked noise, but they left with the head down. And I thank God, thank God for them guys for helping me become a better person, also in life. Because I can always go back to them guys to this day, and we can relate on a lot of stuff. And for Nick Harder was one of the best coaches ever. His wife was one of the best people ever. They helped me in a lot of times, and in the summer I always had a job, earning money. Instead of being in the streets, I always had a job. And I thank God for them. They were like a mother and father. And on top of that, like I said, I thank the committee for everything they did, voting me in. And I'd like to say a special thanks to my sister who's here, who went through a great ordeal with surgery the past month, but she's doing good. Thank God for her being here. And she's gonna get better because I know she's work hard too. But once again, I thank God for everything. Thank God for the committee, for the fans that I still have. No, I can't run the ball no more. Unless you give it to me on the goal line. And I'll get it in. But I appreciate everybody. It's a good sight, to see this going on, especially for the younger kids. And that's all I got to say. Thank you.
Our next 2020 Hall of Fame inductee, who served the Wildcats from 1983 to 2002, Harry the Hat Sewell.
Sewell began working with the Valdosta Wildcats football program in 1983 when he accepted an invitation by Coach Jerry Don Baker and Principal Bill Aldridge. This began a 16-year career of dedication and support to the Wildcats. As a successful business owner, Harry purchased and donated numerous items and football gear to the Wildcats. That first year in 1983, on the way to a game, one of the buses broke down. 10 minutes later, Harry had the bus up and running. At that moment, Coach Nick Hyder told him, "Harry, you're a keeper." Over the years, Harry was responsible for transferring video footage, made sure the headsets were working on game nights, and many other responsibilities. Harry will always be remembered for flipping his hat high into the air after every Wildcat touchdown and victory.
I hadn't done that in a while. It's pretty good. First of all, thank you, Jesus. I would have never expected this. I'm not a speaker, I'm a worker. So y'all just bear with me. First of all, I'd like to thank the committee for making this happen. I would have never believed it. The main person I need to thank for what all I did, none of it, I mean talking zero, would have been possible without my lovely wife, Vicky. Every man has a woman behind him who makes him successful. And I'm going to tell you, without that woman in your life, you're not going to be successful if you don't have a great backer. I've got to get my list out because I can't remember everything. You know what happens when you get old? I'd also like to thank my sons for giving up a lot of dad time, but they did come out and participate with me and learn a lot of life lessons for being around all the coaches and the football players. I'd like to thank all the old coaches and all the old football players who welcomed me around and made me enjoy everything I did. To believe this, all this started from putting a radiator cap on a school bus. 20 years later, I was still at it until some circumstances had come along that just kind of drove some people away. And that's all I'll say about that. What got me started in this, and I was a businessman. I didn't have any hobbies. I didn't play golf. I didn't drink. I didn't go to bars. I didn't hunt. I didn't fish. And I had a business with Coach Baker and the principal, Bill Aldridge, had a gymnastics building right next door to my business. And I let them come up and use the restrooms for all the girls because they didn't have enough in the gymnastics building. And the day before I started with Valdosta, I took and made a lot of promotional material to take it out, and I gave some to Lowndes, I gave some to Cockwood County, I gave some to Berrien County, I gave some to Cook County, and I had some for Valdosta. Now, before all of that, I was a biker. But I went to elementary school in Valdosta. My parents moved to the county, so I had to transfer to the county. I didn't have a choice. Well, I went out and offered my services to Lowndes. And believe it or not, I was turned down. I was telling Coach Howder about it the next day, and he said, we would love to have you out at our practice once you come out and help us. And that's how things got started. And I went out, first week of practice, I'm an observer, and I watch what people need, and I make it happen. But everything's behind the scenes. If I'm watching you and you need something, if you turn around, it's probably going to be in my hand waiting for you. That's just the way I operate. I still operate that way to this day. But that Thursday, Coach Howder invited me to go on the bus trip with him to play Albany. We got halfway to Albany, and Coach Tarpley's bus started just blowing steam. We pulled over to the side of the road. The equipment man and everybody that could work on the bus got stopped by the train in Sylvester at the railroad tracks. And they were way behind us. I got out and just raised the hood to see if I could see what was wrong with the bus. And I had seen that when they serviced it at the barn, they left the radiator cap off. And that's all it was. I ran across the station. I borrowed the gas station's water can. I came over there, I filled the bus up. I put the lid back on, gave the water can to the butler, the police officer. He took it back to the gas station. I hopped on the bus and we took off. And when I sit down, Coach Howard grabbed me by the knee and he said, I think, dude, he always called me the dude, and that's where it started. He said, I think we're going to like having you around. But anyway, ever since then, just one thing evolved to the other. I've had some great memories. I enjoyed every one of them, and if I could start tomorrow and do it fresh, I'd do it all over again. But with all that being said, I appreciate it once again. This is a great honor. It's just unreal that this happened for me. With all that being said, since that day, I've been a Wildcat. Thank you all.
Our next 2020 Hall of Fame inductee from 1975 to 1978, David White.
David White was a standout baseball player for the Valdosta Wildcats. During his sophomore season, he played for the Valdosta B team and coaches Bob Bolton, James Taw, Ken Eldridge, and the late Hal Barber. In his junior season in 1977, White started at third base for the varsity team. That year, the Cats won the region championship with White having a .432 batting average, 8 home runs, and 32 RBIs. During White's senior season in 1978, the Cats won the state championship and their record was 28-1. White was named to the All-State team with a batting average of .429. Had a single-season home run record with 16 home runs, 44 RBIs, and was awarded the team's best hitter. In June of 1978, after high school, White was drafted by the Chicago White Sox in the second round.
Wow, thank you very much. Thank you to the committee, and I'm going to have to take my glasses out as well. And first of all, I'd like to thank Jerry Don Baker. Coach Baker took it upon himself to restart the Hall of Fame program, and I think we all owe him a round of applause for that. And all the other committee members as well. Also want to thank Coach Bolton for nominating me, and also for his baseball, being the assistant baseball coach as well. Coach Charles Tarpley, I don't know if Coach Tarpley's here today, but I want to thank Coach Tarpley as well. Coach Tarpley was a great college baseball player in his own right, great hitter. I used to love to watch him take batting practice after he would throw batting practice to us for a couple hours. He had a beautiful, sweet swing on the left side. And then I want to thank Coach Brooks, who's here. Coach Butch Brooks, the head coach. We led won the state that year, and I remember the late Ellis Clary telling us at the beginning of the year it was so much stress on Coach Brooks because, you know, not only he always had great teams, that wasn't the issue, but with this team, he said we shouldn't lose a game. So we came one out from being undefeated, but we did win the state championship, and I think that year we were rated in the national magazine 6th in the country, I believe. But thank you, Coach Brooks. And one other thing I'd like to mention, when Coach Bolton called me a couple of months ago and told me about the nomination, over the several days after that, I started, thinking back on those old times. It's been 42 years, so it's been a long time. And one of the things I think we need to mention, and Coach Brooks mentioned this in his speech, is Miss Kay. I can still see Miss Kay in her chair right behind the backstop, cheering everyone on as loudly as she could. And we can't mention the 78 state championship season without mentioning her. And so I wanted to also mention any other coaches, baseball players, managers. I know Billy John was here. Bat girls, everyone that was involved in the program, the parents. I want to thank every one of you as well. My family, my dad passed away in 2005, Don White, but my mom's here tonight, Rainey White. Mom, if you could raise your hand. Is she here? Yes, she is. Mom's 85 now, and I finally convinced her to move to Atlanta about a year ago. So she's up there with us now. Also, I'd like to thank my wife of 32 years, Kelly O'Keefe White. Kelly, if you'll raise your hand, please. I'll pay for that later. Also here to support me, my daughters. My oldest daughter, Logan. She is a senior at Georgia, majored in PR, and she's going to graduate in June. And Logan, if you stand, pull your hand up, please. There we go. Okay, may as well leave the lights on. I got a few more. And then my youngest daughter, Lael, she's a freshman at West Georgia, and she's playing on the volleyball team there. Also like to thank my brother Bob, who's not here tonight. He's traveling. I know the folks that were here during that time remember my brother Bob as well. Great player in his own right. Played at the University of Georgia, all SEC catcher. And a little hint for next year, in case y'all need it. And also, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, John and Katie O'Keefe, are here. Thank you, John. Thanks for being here, Katie and John. And then I have some lifelong friends here that are here to support me tonight. When Robert and I first moved over to Diana Drive, where we grew up here during the baseball, during our whole time here, we were 10, 11, 12 years old, or whatever age, 9 years old, and we didn't really know, about the boys club and the programs. And back in those days, you didn't have travel ball and, spend $3,000 to play travel ball. You just went to the boys club. And our next door neighbor, John Dalton, who's here tonight. Raise your hand up, John. John's an attorney here in Atlanta, and he said, "Hey, why don't you and Bob come to practice with me?" And so we did, and that's where we met Bobby Bowden and Judy McLeod and Tip Culpepper, and became a part of the Gishaw Little League team, and that was our first introduction into organized baseball. So John's here with his wife Donna. Donna, hold your hand up, please. Okay. Yeah, you guys won't come and do this again, will you? Okay, also here, a good friend of mine, Steve, and Carmen Devane. There they are, okay. And Mike and Mason's here. And also Greg and Cheryl Colson. And if your kids were here, I would have named them as well. So I want to thank everyone again, and similar stories to most of the people here, being overseas and people understanding the Valdosta. When I was playing and traveling in business and those type of things over the last several years, I can't count the number of times that you mentioned you were from Valdosta, and of course everyone's first question was, did you play football? But no, I played baseball, and it's always surprised me how many people across the country know about Valdosta. So I'm always proud to say that I'm from Valdosta, Georgia. Thank you very much.
Our next 2020 Hall of Fame inductee from 1984 to 1987, Sebron Williams Jr., his son, Sebron Williams III, will be here to accept the award as Sebron Williams Jr. Oh, is he here now? He's here. Oh, I was misinformed. Sebron Williams Jr.
Sebron Williams attended Valdosta High School from 1983 to 1987. Mr. Williams played defensive end as a member of the Wildcats football team during his time at Valdosta High. Mr. Williams was a member of both the 1984 and 1986 state and national championship teams. He was a first-team all-region defensive end, received the honor of achieving the Superior Cat Club, and was selected to play in the East vs. West All-Star Game. Mr. Williams was also a member of the track team for 1 year where he ran the 100-yard dash and was on the 440 relay team. His junior high school track record of 56 seconds in the 440 relay still stands today. After his career at Valdosta, Mr. Williams attended Northeastern Oklahoma Junior College.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Nick Hodder, he was my head coach. Where he at? Jack Rudolph. All right. Topley. Gotta come down. You did it. And I just thank the Lord, man, just for being here. And it's been a long time coming. I can't say anything to top nothing. It's just good to be a part of the Hall of Fame. Like my boy come on, Yellow Jacket, come on. Jimbo, come on. You dig it? Mitchell, come on. So it's just a privilege. Moon, come on, Moon. God is so good. I came right through Pineville, Freddie Finney, with the Dolphins. Nobody else was having a boy club. They just looked at me. They were kicking field goals and stuff. We didn't even have field goal thing, that little field there back there at Pineville. Where Waters come in at, with Russell, where Nick Hodder, he gave us, we couldn't afford new pads and all that. But Pineville, Nick Hodder he gave us cleats. We could have, we were playing with tennis shoes, slide they were. You know what I mean? About to kill you darn self, man. But Nick Hodder gave us some cleats, man. T.A., Tony Anderson, James Roberts. That's why your knees blowed out. Man, we couldn't tackle you up high like this here, man. Always gonna get you down, it was. You better get them knees. He was a horse, that's the horse. Okay? Jimbo, you my boy, man. Come on, man. High tower head. You feel me? Nick Howard, I was an old poor boy, you know what I mean? He ain't want one of the team. That's why I ain't at the Pineville Boy Club ain't want. I ain't have enough money to pay the boy club, man. I barely made that was like $5 or something. to be a member. I better man that. And that Ford Falcon. Run down there with Charles Stewart to Tony Mangle. That was my best man run. With Nick Harder. Nick Harder got his team in heaven. Can he say he always gonna be a coach in heaven? That's a round of applause. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Wildcat. Spirit of be a wildcat, what it comes to be a wildcat, what it takes to be a cat. It's just so amazing. The anointing, the LCA, and all that there that Nick Harder started all the way, come on, with the, come on, Tallahassee, come on. Nick Harder put his program in everywhere. All over Clemson. Come on, they got the paw, they just got the different colors. That's still the Wildcat. Come on. You dig it? And I love y'all guys. This thank you, Moon. Thank you, man. And thank the Lord and thanks for being here. Nick Harder, does he find my name? Goonie. You know what I mean? It's Goonie. You know, it might be Goonie right now. You never see when you come on, Goonie. Yeah. He called me Joseph next door over there, that Moon auntie. And the hard auntie over there, they say, Goonie! Goonie! Yeah, go down over there on the phone. We ain't out on the phone, come on. Then, you know, we talked, doing practice so I came up from the 8th grade up, I was just hitting, man. I couldn't beat nobody up, and I ran so far, running from somebody beat me up. That's how I learned how to run fast. They got a good pass, they couldn't get past it. I'm going. I'm gonna see you later. Now you supposed to step in there all post top and say you gotta come down. You know? And Baker, come on Baker, I love him, man, so dearly. It's just so an honor to be among y'all. And I thank the Lord, thank you Jesus, that's why I'm here. And my job, my family, my priorities, keep the priorities, you know what comes first. God blew up, you know. We got the rain, right? We got to get up and get me some rain, you know what I mean? I earned them, okay? But I thank the Lord, thank you, Jesus, I thank my family, I just thank all y'all. It's so honored to be here. And thank y'all for this award.
Our next 2020 Hall of Fame inductee from 1966 to 1969, Glenn Tiger Williams.
Glenn Tiger Williams attended Valdosta High School from 1966 to 1969. At that time, Williams was probably one of the few high school players lifting weights. Williams' strength and size earned him the right tackle position on the Wildcat offensive line. Williams was selected to the All-Region, All-State, All-Southern, and All-American football teams. During his time at Valdosta, Williams' team won the 1966, 1968, and 1969 Region and State Championships, and the 1969 National Championship. Mr. Williams' nickname of Tiger actually began in Little League Baseball, where his big frame helped him throw hard strikes. Tiger Williams also excelled on the baseball field during his time at Valdosta. Williams was always remembered for emphasizing football and baseball as team sports, saying, "No one alone could win a game."
I'll tell you what, there's something else about getting old, isn't there? Man. I told a few of them a little earlier, it's not too bad though, because when I hit 69, my age is finally more than my waistline, so it's working out pretty good, you know. Listen, my hat's off to Jerry Don and all the guys about the Hall of Fame program. It's just real nice. And all these athletes, boy, it's just something else to I think there's a lot better athletes than what I was, but I'll tell you, there's some good ones coming up there, so. But I'm humbled to be remembered, and I'll tell you this, I haven't forgotten you. Some of those folks I invited, they came tonight, and boy, it's good to be seeing them too. So, good to see all these old friends and old faces. And some of from our high school years, I just really enjoyed seeing them all. So thank y'all for coming. Joe Clary and I were talking the other day, and they played the Super Bowl, you know, and there was an outstanding Super Bowl player. And so I thought, you know, you could take that best Super Bowl player and put him on the field with a good high school team, and that one great Super Bowl player would never score a touchdown, he'd never get a first down, and that great high school team would always score. It'd be a one-sided affair. So my thoughts are really that it's the team. Boy, we had teams. We had a national championship team. I'm pretty tickled with them. That was a good year. So I was glad about that. Lots of memories in high school. Some we enjoy, and some we like to forget. And I tell you what, for all those right there in that latter category, I just want to say to you, I'm sorry. So anyway, it was a lot to learn. Football was a big part of our life in those days. Since that time, I have found something that means more to me. It's something very real, and it's something very eternal. So I'd love to share it with you, but now won't be a good time to be sharing it. But so I'd love to hear from each of you, catch up with you. And so let's please keep in touch. Thank you.
This concludes the Hall of Fame 2020 Hall of Fame inductees. Before we dismiss, I would like to thank Coach Baker and the Hall of Fame committee for asking me to come back and MC this program for a program that means so much to me and has always been very dear to my heart. And at this time, all Hall of Fame inductees, would you please meet out front for pictures that the Valdosta Daily Times is here, and I think family and friends would like to have your photos out there. So thank each and every one of you for coming. Thank the committee for doing such a wonderful job. Congratulations to all the inductees. You've been wonderful. And as always, go Cats.